Yeah, buddy. What is up? What is up Saturday night? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the duct tape dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is, well, I guess it's not. Usually I would say this is week so-and-so of the podcast broadcast. We've got a non-standard show for you tonight. If you couldn't tell by the fact that it's Saturday night and we are doing a show. This is a way non-standard, big time. But we have got a cool show for you tonight. Tonight, we are obviously in Pro Bowl week. We all know that we had the championship week. We all know the results of that. Usually we would come on this week and talk about it, but this is that down week before the Super Bowl. So we thought, are we going to do a normal show this week? Are we going to do something special? We're doing something special. So tonight is going to be a little bit different. And I thank you all. I see you guys in the comments. I can't believe I was like, nobody's going to watch this. It's a Saturday night. People got things to do. Not to say that you don't have better things to do, but we are thankful that you are here with us because we are here with you and we're excited about it. It is a football show, so that means good things are about to happen. And I keep saying we, but all you see is me. I'll get to who the other guy is here in just a second, but first I want to ask you to do us a favor. Minimize that screen. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not already a subscriber, that's the biggest thing that you can do for us to let us know that you enjoy what we've got to say or what we're putting out there, whatever, or that you're just a friend and you're going to support us anyway. We'll take it, whatever. Every subscriber matters. Literally, I watched that number, and I'm telling you, when I lose one subscriber, we're up to 164. If tomorrow I'm at 163, I'm going to be bummed out about it. So every single one of them matters. So please hit that subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, hit that like button for us. That pushes it out and lets other people see that we've got the stuff. Brian Maxey, no, you are the man, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, he's watching from his 18-wheeler just north of St. Louis, Illinois. How about that? I thought St. Louis was in Missouri. Whatever. Anyway, Brian, we're excited you're here with us, brother. So let's get to it. Let's bring the other dude on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ag Man himself, the co-host of co-hosts. He's been here probably more times than anybody else. It's Andrew. How are you, brother?
Doing good. It's a Saturday night, but you know what? In a small town, there's not a whole lot to do. So Duct Tape Dynasty it is.
Attaboy, yeah.
Let's run it back.
What? Yes. What? I love it. Hey, we're
going to go full just nuts tonight.
Yeah, why not? Watching, why not?
Why not?
Why not? It's in both. Okay, so St. Louis crosses the border into both, so Illinois and Missouri. But Brian, we're glad that you're here, and every single one of you guys. I see you, Dave. I see you, Wally. I see you, Katie. I see all you guys in the comments. I appreciate it. We're happy that you are here. By the way, if you didn't notice already, we kind of got a new look going on with the graphics up here, flags in color over there, a few things, a little doohickey down here. This is kind of the new look that we've been working on. Thought about waiting until next year to bring it out, but I said, what the heck? It's Super Bowl week-ish. Super Bowl 2 weeks. Why not break it out now? Get us something to look forward to, I guess, for next season, if graphics are worth looking for. Whatever. Anyway, how was your week, brother? What's going on?
It was a good week. It was a very busy week, and I think it's only going to snowball from here for me. Hopefully without actual snowballs, but you never know. The weather might change on us again.
Yeah, is winter over? Or are you still in Snowtown or what? What's up?
There might be some snow that comes. It's been like 60 the last 3 days, which has been blowing my mind for January, February. Feels like April.
Yeah.
But there might be some snow coming. I don't know, but we'll see. It's going to get a little colder and mellow out, but who knows how long that lasts.
Yeah.
If you base your weather predictions off of a rodent, apparently we get an early spring this year.
Yeah,
but I still think that's just a bunch of crap, so who knows.
Yeah. Man. We let's see, last night we had some thunderstorms actually, instead of the snowstorms that always come to Oklahoma.
I could go for those.
Yeah,
I could go for thunderstorms.
We had some pretty Dave says it is snowing balls here in I-15. Nice. Well, sorry, brother. Take care of yourself out there. Be safe.
Don't hit I-94.
Yeah.
Don't hit I-94.
But yeah, we had a thunderstorm last night, and apparently one of the thunderclaps, or what I thought was a thunderclap, it was an earthquake in the middle of the thing. And yeah, okay, whatever. So we were simulcasting earthquakes and thunderstorms, and the giant Saint Bernard was scared out of her mind. Biggest dog, biggest wuss. Anyway, I wish she was in here with us. We could have a Saint Bernard cam, but we don't. Anyway, why don't you tell our guys what we're doing tonight, because we're doing a non-standard show. Like I said, normally we would go over results and all that stuff, but we're going to resume that next week, actually on Friday. So you know what? Let me do that first. Let me bring this over and just give you guys our little ad for Friday night. Join us. It is going to be our Super Bowl show. We're going to have Bully back on. The two co-hosts of the playoffs will continue, Andrew and Bully, and we will go over the results of last week. We'll go over the predictions for Super Bowl, and we'll talk all things football, and it'll be awesome. Next Friday night, probably around 6:30 Central. Time to be determined. It'll be out on socials. But yes, please join us for the Super Bowl show, because that's going to be a good one. For sure. So, Bully's in the comments as well. What's up, brother? We see you. Dave, that one time at band camp. Yeah. Anyway, so what are we doing tonight, though? We've got a non-standard show tonight. We see what we're doing next Friday, but what are we doing tonight? Talk to us.
Tonight is a special show. We did this once before when we had special guest NFL Mike on the show. Mike, if you're out there watching this on the ether of the internet, we would love to have you back on after the post or during the postseason. Or not. Yeah.
The off season.
Off season.
There it is.
There we go. My brain shot. Off season, we would love to have you back on. Compare some notes, how our team did versus how your team did. We would love to talk. So please reach out. We'll be reaching out to you as well. But we are going back into the well of the Mount Rushmores. We're opening up the DTD vault, as it were. We had a graphic for that once. I don't know if we still do.
We do somewhere. It's in the ether.
It's buried. But we are returning to the Mount Rushmore segment, covering both of our Super Bowl teams, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers, who, spoilers for next week, I think has a pretty good shot.
Really? You think that? Oh, boy. Man, I tell you what, that Chiefs team seems to be hot at the right time, dude. There's just something about those Chiefs. Now, I'll admit, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I want the Niners to win. Flat out. I want the Niners to win. Although the Chiefs they're all right. I get it. But they've won it a few times. It's time for the Niners and the Brock Purdy story just to keep on going. Oh, geez. Dave is talking about sticking flutes in places that sun don't shine. Yeah, Dave is definitely watching on a Saturday night.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Anyway, good God, now I lost my train of thought. So, yeah, I want the Niners to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win, though. And we'll get to the picks next week and get the official.
We'll get to that next week. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So, who do you want to win? Who do you want to win?
I want the San Francisco 49ers to win.
Is it because of the Brock Purdy story, or is it because you just don't want the Chiefs?
I don't want the Chiefs to win. I also I have no ill will to the Niners. Going back to our uniform episode with Sergio, again, we'll be reaching out in the offseason if you're watching this. We're just plugging everybody right now.
Sure, why not?
The 49ers have dope uniforms. They look awesome. I've always been kind of a Niners fan. Especially with where I'm from, having a tie to one of the players that we'll probably talk about quite a few times tonight. I want the Niners to win because we're kind of in a weird bubble where it's deja vu from like 2018, 2019. Everyone was wanting the Chiefs need to win. The Chiefs need to win because we're tired of the Patriots. No offense, Bully, but we're tired of the Patriots. And now the Chiefs are getting in that mode, and everyone's like, oh, my God, we're sick of the Chiefs. Someone else, please. And I'm part of the someone else please group. So
okay. Now here's the thing: if the Chiefs win, when the Chiefs win, is Taylor Swift going to be on the stage with Travis Kelce?
Oh, no way, that's not going to happen. They created flights for her to get there.
Oh my gosh!
And they made them flights
1989
and Flight 87.
That was crazy. American Airlines.
What the hell?
Yeah.
She's gonna be on the stage. Like, everyone's gonna be like, we're gonna explode the internet. And they're gonna be like, we're going to Disneyland. Yay.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift will end up being the MVP of the Super Bowl if the Chiefs win. So, jeez. But hey, I tell you what, they are now America's couple. You know, I mean, is there another couple
Apparently.
out there that's not? Hey, whatever. I'm all for it. It's doing
This
good
is like
things for
Tony
football.
Romo and
Jessica Simpson back in the day.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. I don't know. This is way better.
it's better, but it's like same energy. You know,
Yeah,
one's like right
yeah,
here,
yeah.
the other one's right there. Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, they're gonna make it. Brian Maxey says they're gonna make it all about her. I guarantee you, they're gonna be showing her in the suite. That is for sure. Well, we all
guaranteed.
expect. I mean, she's got a
She'll be in the
show in
suite.
Tokyo the night
She'll
before.
make it.
But
They've
yeah,
done the math. She'll make it.
yeah. I think
And
at this
you know,
point,
I just want to see another bare-chested Jason Kelsey upstaging her because that was funny as hell.
that was awesome.
Like he looked like the Machine. He looked like Burt Kreischer. Just that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty.
He was like 40 beers deep. What?
What? I love it. Jason Kelsey, he's a machine. Now, is he coming back, dude? Is he coming back?
I don't know.
Hear he's
I
coming
haven't
back?
listened. I haven't listened to the newest episode of New Heights yet, so I don't
think
know.
he's coming back. I think he made the
I think he
decision to come
might
back.
be.
So anyway, but let's get to it, dude. Let's start it off because we got a ways to go. We got plenty of things to go through. Let's start our Mount Rushmore. And now this.
Oh, jeez, Dave. Debbie does Dallas. That's a couple.
Yeah, jeez.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Dave is assuming the role of Gil in the comments tonight. So
Well, at this point, it's Dak does Dallas because he screws him over. So.
yeah, jeez. There it is. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Now on that note, we definitely need to get to this.
Yep. Moving on.
All right. So first up, we're going to go through the Chiefs Mount Rushmores. Now, what is this Mount Rushmore thing that we're doing? Can you explain that?
So the Mount Rushmore, yes, the way we did it before and the way we're keeping it going is, Mount Rushmore. There's 4 presidents, arguably the 4 greatest presidents in our nation's history. So we are doing that with football players and football teams. We're taking arguably the 4 greatest players in that team's history and slapping them on a mountain that is only on the internet because we're not actually going to make this thing.
Yeah.
So we are creating and talking about who we think are the 4 best players of the Kansas City Chiefs or the Kansas Swiftie Chiefs, if you will.
Oh, wow.
And then later the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. So first up, we've got Bully. Bully is up first. I'm going to slide it over. Why don't you tell us who Bully's got on his list?
All right, so Bully has on his list. I'm not really going left to right unless it's set up that way. I'm just going with names on this. He has Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, 2 very solid picks, especially in recent history, Tony Gonzalez, and then his 4th player, Derek Thomas, with an honorable mention going to Jamal Charles.
That's a solid list. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, the very first name that comes to mind, and you tell me if it's the same for you, is Tony Gonzalez. Like,
oh yeah,
the Chiefs. That's the name. Yeah. Like I expect
taking recent history out of it. Yes,
I expect to see Tony Gonzalez on every single person's list. Now, these people that we're putting up here, by the way, these guys who are pickers of the Mount Rushmore. These are our pickers from the Pick'em League that we do, of which we'll get to the regular show. Like I said, next week on Friday, we'll resume the regular show, and this is the other co-host and his picks. So Bully, that's a good list. I'm solid with that list. Any complaints or anything with that? I mean, I think it's solid. You've got Mahomes and Kelce. They just broke the Joe to Jerry.
The postseason Brady Gronk
that's
record.
right. It was Brady Gronk.
For like most touchdowns by a duo in the postseason, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely have earned their right up there.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna quote Kelce, the Beastie Boys song. They fought for the right.
Yeah,
they fight for the right to party.
Yeah.
I was more surprised by Jamal Charles on this one because not that he was a bad player, and he's also, when I was in the stage of I need to collect football cards in like middle school, he's probably the Chief I have the most cards of because he was everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of surprised to see that name pop up again because of Gonzalez and because of like recent history and all of those names that get thrown back into things.
Yeah. Yeah. There's aside from, like I said, Gonzalez, there's going to be many a different name, I believe, as we go through this. So
that's true.
All right, let's get to the next one then. It's Wally. Wally's list of the chefs. I'm going to give it to you again. Go ahead. Tell us who these guys are. I do see a Tony Gonzalez on there again.
Yes.
So go ahead.
He has a Tony Gonzalez again. Mahomes shows up for the second time. Kelsey for the second time. But the one that's different, and then the honorable mention that's different, he's going back. Wally's going back to his days. Len Dawson, the original quarterback that started everything for the Chiefs, or at least started their stardom. He's the one that won Super Bowl IV against our Vikings. But he was the one that went back there. And his honorable mention is Buck Buchanan, who actually was in serious consideration for my list, too.
Dude, look at that face mask. Holy
I
cow.
know. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's old school on there. So, yeah, Len Dawson, though, as well. Now, granted, he's turned around. He's probably got a weird face mask on that.
I think it's just the two bar.
Is he?
Which I think it, for some reason, we're going to go on a tangent here again, but, we're good at this. The two bar old school makes more sense to me than the two bar new school. The new ones look like Power Rangers. The old ones look like football helmets.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, and we do have a uniform critiquing show that we will do in the off season as well when it comes to,
yes.
As you can hear from Andrew's comments, we get into everything. Whatever, I'll leave that for that. So, yeah, decent list as well. I will say I had to help Wally out a little bit because he didn't submit the right amount of picks. So I did help him out a little bit, I think.
I think it was a solid assist, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good list. It's a good list, definitely. So let's get to yours then, and I'll let you once again tell us who is on this list for you. It looks like we got a kicker up there. But go ahead, tell us who we got on your list.
Yeah, so I'll take mine, and then we'll throw the other three to you so we can kind of keep it balanced. But mine, we've said their names 2 times already. Mahomes, Kelsey, Gonzalez. I think those are 3 pretty slam dunk ones that people are going to see. I also have Len Dawson up there because I was looking through it and thinking through it, and then I love history of it, and he was just the next quarterback that really was a big deal on the Chiefs in my head. And then I do have a kicker up there. Jan Sennerud is the first kicker in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And a lot of people will be like, that's credential number 1 that he's on there. Credential number 2, if you have met or learned anything about Josh and myself, for those viewers at all, you can see another reason that we are wearing tonight. Montana State. Jan Sennerud is a Montana State Bobcat alum and graduate. His number is retired at Montana State. So he was the first Bobcat in the NFL Hall of Fame, as well as the first kicker. So I had to throw him an honorable mention on my list.
Yeah, that's solid. And a little foreshadowing, you might see that again. Yeah, solid.
He was also one of 2 kickers on the NFL 100 list when they did the 100-year player list.
How do you argue against the first kicker in the NFL Hall of Fame? Like,
you can't.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
I can't.
I mean, I want to say it's a homer pick, but dude, that is a legitimate pick as well. And so let's get to mine then as well, or because I have him as well, along with Tony Gonzalez, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and
there's your 3.
Derek Thomas.
Thomas is the new one.
Yep. Solid. I mean, but those 3, again, Tony Gonzalez is who you think of when you think of great Chiefs. And then with Kelce and Mahomes beating the record this year, and I mean, for crying out loud, those guys are just getting started. They've got so many more years of off-season stardom that I'm sure is going to happen. They're going to demolish that record by the time these 2 are done. So it's just hard. I know they're current players, but it's hard to argue against putting them on there. It's kind of like a duh, right? Like, that's obvious.
Right. And I was thinking about it when we were making the list, and obviously we shared information back and forth on a few of these guys. I was like, is it recency bias? I don't really think so. I think they've definitely eclipsed the recency bias thing, especially since some of the other Mount Rushmores are not recent at all. So I think it's a very good mix with some of that.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, we have Austin Hatchett in the comments, one of my friends from life and from church. So, hey, what's up, Austin? It is good to see you in the chat. I love it. By the way, Dave has blah, blah, FTC, and then your mom came over the top. Dave, sorry, but FTG. So I'll let you guys imagine what the FT stands for. But the C at the end of that was the Cats, and then the G at the end of ours was the Grizz, which is the rival to the Cats. Anyway, so FT, you get it.
FTG, all the way.
Yep. And wasn't speaking of FTG, the originator of the FTG coach, what's his name? The current coach for the Bobcats.
Brent Vegan.
Yeah, wasn't he at your school recently?
Yeah, he was. I was actually on lunch duty that day, and I saw him walk in, and I looked over, and I was like, I thought it was one of our teachers for a second because he was really tall, and we have a really tall teacher who's one of our basketball coaches. But then I looked at it and went, no, that's not him at all. He's a lot bigger dude that I'm seeing walk through this door, and I went, holy crap, that's Brent Vegan. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see him come in a lot taller than I expected, because I really only see him on a TV or a phone.
Yep.
And then, or from a long distance away when he's on the sidelines. But a very tall guy, but very cool to have him come in to our school. So
yeah, it's too bad you didn't get to sit him down and have lunch while you were sitting.
Yeah, no, so, that was too bad.
Yeah, but anyway, by the way, that's
at least it wasn't
Cats
Bobby
head
Houck.
Coach. Oh,
I would have chastised Bobby Houck out of the school. So
do an interview with my nephew sometime. Media for Insight. He'll be interested in going into media, maybe a sports DJ. Yeah, Brian, send me a text, brother. We'll talk more about that. Yeah, absolutely. You send me a text and we'll talk more about it. You got my number, brother. By the way, Andrew, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see it in the comments here in just a second. Brian Max, he sent me a message via comment. So yes, absolutely. Send me a text, Brian, and we'll hook that up. So next on the list is Dave. So Dave's list now.
Keep it with Dave.
I like this. I like his honorable mention. This is fantastic. So he's got, of course, once again, we see it. We've got Patrick Mahomes. We got Tony Gonzalez. We got Travis Kelce, right? It should be unanimous. Has that been unanimous across the board? So far, everybody's had that. Yeah. And then Derek Thomas. Okay. Solid. And then this one I love. I never thought of it.
Really cool. I like this one a lot.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid is the honorable mention. And yes, that is solid, Dave. That's very solid. Good. That is a great call. I'm jealous that I didn't think of that because yes, Andy Reid and his big brain out there is phenomenal and is a huge part of the Chiefs' recent success, of which they're having a lot. And speaking of coaches, there's been a lot of coaching hires out there. We've talked about, and we'll get to Dave's list. I mean, okay, any arguments how do you argue with this list? I think this is like the perfect list. I think Dave got the perfect list.
I think he did. He either got, the arguable one might be Derek Thomas with other people's picks. Sure. I can see that being the one that people talk about the most. There was no rule that we couldn't pick Andy Reid. So Dave read that rule perfectly, picked Andy Reid. And it's like, well, no, duh. Yeah. Of course the man is going to be on there. Yeah. Like, I think my list is solid, but I really like Dave.
Yeah, I think Dave wins the list of if we're going to rank them. But Andy Reid, who was arguably a Hall of Fame coach when he came to the Chiefs, is no doubt
definitely now
a Hall of Fame coach now.
No doubt.
Like I said, one heck of that's a great call. I love that call. But yeah, coaching hires now. Of course, we know that the Chargers, I almost said San Diego Chargers, got Harbaugh, which I guess I'm excited about. Harbaugh's a bit of a weirdo, but he does.
He's better than who they had.
Yeah. The alternative, Brandon Staley, get him out of there. I've been calling for it for years. Thank God he's gone. Sorry,
I heard the Packers were trying to interview him for an offensive coordinator spot. I kind of hope that would happen because then that would just suck for them.
Oh yeah, go for it on fourth down every freaking time, dude. Hey, look how great that worked out for Dan Campbell. Sorry about it. Anyway, Austin Hatchett says Chiefs are gonna win, and I'm still this is our year Cowboys fan.
That's every Cowboys fan right now, isn't it though?
Every year. It's our year. And you know what? The Cowboys find a way to screw it up every year. It's just who they are right now. But yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win as well. I agree, brother. Dan Quinn going to Washington is risky, is what he says.
Yeah, he went to a rival, an interdivision rival, except we know how McAfee, what they think about Washington and their stadium.
That stadium and the whole thing.
But it's like, I'm glad Dan Quinn is a head coach again, though, because he was a really good head coach when he was in Atlanta, and he did an awesome job with the defense in Dallas, but I'm glad he's a head coach again. I hope it works out for him. Unfortunately, he's going to have to do a little bit of building, but that I think a lot of these new head coaches are going to have to do that. There was a lot that I don't even know. The Seahawks got a guy, and it was like Mike
I don't
something. I don't know that guy.
Speaking of Mike Vrabel still out there. And then speaking of coaches that are still out there,
Bill
Belichick. What? Now that's got to be by his choice. Bill Belichick, if Bill Belichick wanted a coaching job, he can name his, I don't want to say name his price, but he could really go to any team, right?
Oh, I think so. With exception of maybe Kansas City.
Okay.
Andy Reid, we just established, but I think he could go anywhere. I have no idea. And there's a lot of brand new coaches. The Raiders kept the guy they had as the interim.
I like
Patriots
that.
had Gerard Mayo. We knew about that. I think Gerard Mayo was the successor anyway. It was just a year sooner. But yeah, there's a lot of new coaches where I'm like, I don't know who these people are. So this is going to be an interesting 2024 regular season to see, are these going to stick?
I'm still interested to see what is this the end of the Bill Belichick story? I mean, like, is he
it's
hanging
unfortunate
it up?
if it is. It's unfortunate if it is.
I mean, he had a pretty good ride.
It's cruddy how it ended, but yeah, he had a dang good ride.
Yeah. I mean, 20 years of just phenomenal. I mean, come on.
Dominant.
Yeah, it just
and then
amazing.
Out with the dud.
Yeah.
And the second overall pick, I think.
Yeah.
Second or third.
Yeah. He left on, well, it was time. But it just surprises me that Bill Belichick, because we saw him go interview with Atlanta, have a second interview with Atlanta.
Twice.
Which said to me that, okay, Bill wants to coach again, right? He's out there interviewing. He wouldn't go through a freaking interview if he doesn't want to coach. But then he doesn't get picked up. They pick up I don't know who. And it's like, what? What happened? So that says to me, Bill Belichick must have said, you know what? I think I'm done. Because then he doesn't get picked up by any other team, which is crazy. I mean, the Cowboys stick with Mike McCarthy. Austin's a Cowboys fan. And
it says they're wanting to interview Ron Rivera, and everyone doesn't like that.
I mean,
I did not hear that. I heard that Mike Zimmer, former Vikings head coach, is looking at it, but I don't know if that's true or if that's just internet nonsense. That's what I've seen.
Okay. I mean, it's such a Cowboys thing that Jerry came out and was like, well, we're sticking with Mike McCarthy. It's like, bro, Jerry, you are the problem. Jerry Jones is the problem for the Cowboys. Not to turn this into a Cowboys
Imagine
thing.
when that happens. When is that going to happen?
That's
going to break the world. When Jerry Jones is, I think he's going to die before he's going to step away.
That's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, it's going to be Jerry Jones passes away, and then within 3 years, I think they're probably going to be solid. But yeah, Ron Rivera, I don't know, man. It's another retread. If you said Bill Belichick, now granted, I mean, I guess technically he's a retread That's who I thought would have gone there. But yeah, Ron Rivera would be a Jerry Jones move. He stuck with Garrett for too long. Yeah, Mr.
That's
Claps
true.
a lot. Coach Claps a lot.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. Yep.
He had a great Thanksgiving Day comeback, and then they just said he's our guy forever, and that didn't work out.
Jerry is too loyal for his own good, and the Cowboys are gonna suck until he's out of the picture. Sorry about it. But yeah. And I don't think Dak's the answer. He keeps screwing up the offseason. Anyway, sorry. We're way off topic, which is okay. Whatever. Because the next one that we've got to talk about is pretty off topic as well.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Comments, get ready, please.
Bro, you know what? Here we go. So Bo is a Denver Broncos faithful fan. This is Bo, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bo's list that you are seeing. He is such a Broncos fan that he hates the Chiefs. So it about made him puke to be able to even do a Mount Rushmore. I'm surprised he submitted anybody. He did put Tony Gonzalez on there, but you notice.
Yes.
Okay, we got Tony Gonzalez. We got Derek Thomas. Got it. Solid, right? Then you got, is that, who the heck? Is that Priest Holmes? Who is that? The running back.
Priest Holmes.
And then he's got Tyreek, which
fair, but
wait a second. Where's Mahomes and Kelsey? Like they've been on every list unanimously. He's got Tony Gonzalez. He's got Gonzo. By the way, he couldn't even make a full list. We asked for 4 and an honorable. He's like, no, not even. So Bo didn't even. He hates the Chiefs so bad that he wouldn't even put in. Well, he's not going to put current players in there. He's just not going to do it because that's the enemy. And so, man, I don't know. It seems now I will say, and I'm going to turn it over to you real quick. But this kind of thing does seem to run in the family with the Graveses.
With that, yes. With the Graveses specifically, this seems to run in the family big time. I respect Bo with sticking with it and having the gall. Hell, we're going to say it. It's a Saturday night. He has the balls to stick with this. Like, I'm giving that to him. That's like Dan Campbell level ballsy to leave those two off the list. But, I mean, Tyreek was great when he was there, but was he there long enough?
No.
Yeah,
Tyreek does not belong on the list. He doesn't.
I mean, he's a solid player. He's a name everyone knows, but yeah.
Wally's apologizing in the comments. It's all good, brother. You're
good, Wally.
Yeah, you had a week. Okay.
Yep.
We get it. I wasn't about to.
All right.
I wasn't about to bug you and be like, "Hey, I need more, Wally." No, you are good, brother. I'm calling my father-in-law brother. Whatever. So Bo is so disgusted by the Chiefs, he can't even come out with a full list. And he intentionally leaves off current players because it will make him puke. So his list sucks. Okay. I'm just going to come out and say it. His Kansas City, Mount Rushmore list sucks. But it runs in the family because I'm going to turn it over now. This is the list that we got. Ladies and gentlemen, that is his father. That is his father that you see there. This is Bo's father, and this is a list from the off season where
this was the off season.
Let's have a QB Mount Rushmore. This
is our first Mount Rushmore episode that we ever tried to do.
Yes,
and we're like, okay, simple one. This is going to be easy. Yes, we'll see some different takes, but we're going to see what happens. Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, period. No team or any team.
Very easy.
Any time limit. Very broad strokes. The entire league is fair game. Joe Montana, everybody pretty much put on their – I think everyone put on their list. Makes sense.
Yep.
He's arguably the greatest of all time. John Elway, he put a Bronco on there. He's a Broncos fan, but that's a solid pick. We all agree with John Elway. He put Brett Favre on there. kind of a dark horse pick. Not a lot of us picked Brett Favre, but
I was like, where are you going, bro?
I can see the argument. I can see the argument, though, especially if you're trying to say greatest of retirement attempts. Brett Favre with 3, I think.
Yeah, he did it a few times. But then
Drew Brees,
bro,
I love Drew Brees. That was awesome. That was a great pick. But there's 2 giant names that are missing from that. Arguably the other greatest of all time, Tom freaking Brady.
Not arguably. He is the greatest of all time. The dude has more Super Bowl rings than any team in NFL history.
That's a good point.
And he left Tom Brady off the freaking list.
Tom Brady. And then the guy who brought a second Super Bowl to Denver, or another Super Bowl to Denver, who was picked up and brought in by one of the guys on his list, Peyton freaking Manning.
That one blew me away.
The NFL Golden Boy family, like the NFL Golden Child, if the NFL was to create a quarterback and say, like, this is who we're going to sell to the world, it's Peyton Manning. And he left him off his list.
He left him off. So, yeah, by the way, for anybody who hasn't submitted a list, Austin, I see you throwing a bunch of names out there. Go ahead and tell us who would be on your list. Austin Hatchett is saying Brady. Duh, right? Duh. Brady.
Duh.
By the way, when I called Chris out on this and I said, hey,
he said
hello.
He had a reason.
Like, I texted him. I'm like, hey, dude, just to let you know, you left Tom Brady off. Like, you might want to fix that. And he comes back. He's like, no, that was intentional. What? I
understand if you're making a Mount Rushmore saying, besides Tom Brady, who would they be? But we didn't say that.
No.
We did not say that.
No. So this family has vendettas, man. And they're like, I am not putting... Anyway. So yeah, Bo, going back to Bo's picks, you see that it runs in the family of terrible Mount Rushmore ability. We'll just leave it at that. So, but Austin says Brady, Favre, Breeze, Manning, and then Bradshaw. Okay, now.
Ooh, see,
Brady, Manning, those 2 should be unanimous, right? Brady and Manning.
We thought.
Now Favre, okay. But I would
have went Montana over Favre.
Yeah, it's the Drew Brees that I don't get. And Drew Brees, dude, I'm a San Diego. Sorry,
he was your boy.
Yeah, I'm a Charger fan. Like Chargers is my team. So when Drew Brees got dumped by the Chargers and then he went out and did good things, I was still a fan. But I do not put him on there in place of Brady or Manning. And so I just
in inclusion too.
And then I think Joe Montana is just, you got to have Joe Montana on there. It's Joe freaking Montana.
He's one of the most famous names in NFL history.
Yes.
Like everyone knows who that is.
Yes.
People hear Montana, where I'm from, and they think of Joe Montana before they think of the state.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I will say, though.
Which that's okay. We don't need more people up here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
The Bradshaw pick, though, I like. I do like that Bradshaw pick. That's a solid one. How many Super Bowls does Bradshaw have? He's got a chunk. He's got a chunk.
He's got a few rings in his pocket. I think it might be 3.
Yeah. Something like that.
How many? I wanted to say 4. How many Terry Bradshaws does the Super Bowl have?
Bring back Fran. He says bring back Fran.
How many Super Bowls does Terry Bradshaw have?
Yeah. 5? Austin said 5. I thought it was 4. Honestly, I thought it was 4.
Both back-to-back. 75, 76, and then 77, or 75, 76, then 79 and 80.
And I think Montana has 4 as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Young got 1, so that's why the team has 5.
That's right. Yep. Speaking of that, great transition. I'm glad you said it. Let's go to the 49ers. Our first list is the man, the other post-season co-host, man in the comments, Bully. 49ers, who'd he put on there? I like this list.
Okay, I really like this list. I think a lot of our Niners lists are really solid.
Yeah.
You're going to see there's a theme with these lists too, kind of like there was last time. There's a definite theme. But
yeah,
he has, in no particular order, Steve Young, Joe Montana. Okay, 1, 2 right there.
Yep.
Jerry Rice, number 3 right there. Those are your 3 that I think are unanimous. And if you don't pick those, you better have a damn good case as to why.
Yeah.
And then his 4th one, Ronnie Lott, with an honorable mention going to Dwight Clark.
Yes.
Not a name I would have pulled, but definitely one of the most famous plays in NFL history.
Yes.
So that is a solid list from the golden days of the 49ers. Pun intended, we'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. You said golden days. That's great. The Dwight Clark, and we've got the catch up there.
Right.
That play is what made me a football fan. I remember my dad telling me about it. I think that's the case
for a lot of people. I think that's the case for Tom Brady. Wasn't he there for that game as a little kid?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. I mean, this was his team as a kid. So anyway, Austin came in now. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, and Kittle. Okay. Kittle. I like it. Kittle's a good one.
I think it's too new. I think he's on. If this pace. Super Bowl happens, he's closer.
Yeah,
that's a solid pick, though.
Yeah, I do like the recent. I think Kittle's got a chance. I don't think he's there yet, but he is a dominant force. I mean, if Kelsey wasn't out there, Kittle would be all we talk about. And speaking of George Kittle, he sees all of our stuff, like all of our Instagram stuff. And George Kittle. I love George Kittle because he's just a big kid. Like he is. He loves what he's doing. He finds the camera and waves every week. His social media day for the Super Bowl when they got their new uniforms with the patch signed on them and everything. He was in front of the SpongeBob background and was making all the references. Like George Kittle's hilarious. I would love to sit down and have a beer with this guy. What? Sorry. I would love to have a beer with George Kittle. Like he is just what I would consider a guy being a dude. Yeah, Kittle is a man's man out there. He's oh man. If it wasn't for Kelsey, he'd be dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyway, no, I think he's married or something. Anyway, Austin, let's see the catch. T.O. is a hothead. Nick Bosa for defense. I like it.
He's on pace too.
Yeah, he's in there. But the 49ers have just such a legendary history that it's tough for these guys. I mean,
they had a decade of dominance, so if you pick anyone from there, you're on the right track.
Yeah, and I mean, it's tough to make room for some of these new guys because who do you pick out? You take Joe Montana out? No. You take Jerry Rice out? I mean, Jerry Rice, let's have the conversation. Is he the greatest receiver ever to do it? I think so. In my opinion, yes. I know you want to say Randy Moss. He's 1 and 2.
But I know, but he's 1 and 2, though. Like, it's 1 and 2, 1A, 1B. Like, Rice is, if he's not in the conversation, you don't know what you're talking about.
Jerry Rice is, in my opinion, the greatest receiver ever to do it.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think Randy Moss is up there, and it's a closer race than people give it credit.
Okay, that's respectable, and I know you are a Vikings fan, so we see the
even though Moss did a lot of stuff on the Patriots too. I think he did.
Did he win a Super Bowl with them, or was that the one?
I think it was the year that they lost.
Yeah, that was the first year they lost to.
I think it was the undefeated snap.
Yep, I think so as well. That's what I kind of.
But then Jerry Rice, you got to remember, he traveled around quite a bit too at the end of his career.
Man.
He went to Oakland. He went to Denver for a little bit. He was in Seattle for a hot minute, and that's just a weird picture to look at.
Yeah.
But
Jerry Rice put on a few different uniforms at the end, which
everyone knows him for the red and gold, though.
You know what? You know what's surprising? Speaking of uniforms that they wore, Joe Montana wasn't on the Chiefs list.
Right.
Like he could have been.
Beat the Niners on the Chiefs.
Right.
He went to the AFC title game with them. He just unfortunately lost. I don't remember to who, but he got him there.
Gosh, I can't remember.
And I know.
Was it the Skins?
They were.
No,
because it's the AFC, NFC title games.
Super Bowl.
But I know when the Chiefs played the Niners, the first year it was Steve Young's team. and Joe Montana was on the Chiefs. The Chiefs bullied the Niners to win it for Joe.
Yep. Yeah.
And Steve Young even looked at the Chiefs defenders and was like, "What the hell did I do to you guys?"
Yeah. Oh man, those were some great games. But anyway, yeah. So that's solid list, Bully. I love it. And foreshadowing, we might see something similar to that a little bit later. Okay, next on the list, and it's going to be yours as well to announce, is Wally's 49ers picks. So go ahead. Who did he have?
All right, so Wally's picks, they look very similar. It's Young, Montana, Rice. Those are your three. Yep. He has Ronnie Lott as well, which, again, solid choice, especially if you have a guy who does it with like 9.5 fingers.
Hell yeah, that's right.
He chopped the damn thing off in a game and went back out there.
He's nuts.
But then his honorable mention, which I think is a great one, that when I saw the list when you sent it to me, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great one. Why didn't I think of that? Bill Walsh, the coach during those golden days.
Yes.
He created the West Coast offense. This guy, if we didn't have Bill Walsh, we wouldn't have half of the NFL as we see it now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and this is, by the way, the other coach that got put on a list was by Dave, who is Wally's son. So we saw Andy Reid. Now we see Bill Walsh. We see it running in the family. We saw how the suck at
one side of the family and then the other side.
Yeah. And then we saw how, one side of the family doesn't know how to do a Mount Rushmore. So God knows what Bo is going to have on his list. But is it safe to say that we're going to see Montana, Young, and Rice on everybody's list? Do you think so?
I think it's a pretty safe bet. Yeah. I think with this, even when I pitched the idea to you, it was the conversation of who's your fourth guy and who's your honorable mention. That was the conversation. The other three was kind of like, okay, yeah, what we should have done is we should have put our infamous asterisk on this list and said, don't count those three. Who would you pick?
Yeah, with the exception of, maybe we'll have to do that another time. But,
when the Niners win the Super Bowl, we might have to revisit that.
Oh, boy. I hope they do. I really do. So anyway, let's get to the next list, which is yours. And go ahead and go for it. And I do see, looks like, we're the trend has continued, at least for those three. So go ahead. Who you got?
Yes. So our three,
see you, Austin.
The same. See you, Austin. Thank you for joining us. Montana, Rice, Young, that's a given. We're going to put a bow on those and we're going to put them to the side for a second because, duh. My fourth man on this Mount Rushmore, I put Terrell Owens. Now, Austin did say he was a hothead, and I understand that. It's everything he had in any other team he went to. I don't think he ended any team on a good note, but he was great when he was there.
Yep.
T.O. was the 1B to Rice's 1A in the early 90s there, and he was lighting it up with Young. It was Montana and Rice. It was Young and Owens when it wasn't Young and Rice.
Yeah.
Those he lit it up. He made himself a superstar. I think it was at the Niners where he had the pen and he took it out and signed stuff.
Oh gosh, that's right. Yeah, he pulled it out of his sock.
He did that. The Niners, he had the balls to go to the middle of the star and stand there in Dallas and for all of his attitude issues, he was a hell of a player.
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, the guy's in the Hall of Fame.
I like how I'm saying this, and I never actually saw him with my own eyes. But still, hell of a player. And I put him on there. And then my honorable mention was Coach Prime time, Deion Sanders.
Skipping
honorable
across
mention
the top
for the fact that he wasn't there long enough. And I think he did a path like T.O. where he went to the same few teams and did really well at those teams, but he wasn't at the Niners long enough for me to bump him into the top 4.
Yeah. It was, Anyway, but I do like that list, and there you go again. Like we said, there's those three. So next up is my list, and hey, look at that. It looks very, very similar to one we already saw, which is Bully's list because it's the exact same. By the way, Wally came in and said Bo was a huge San Fran fan when he was a little kid, so he better have a better Mount Rushmore
Let's
for
hope.
these guys than
I think
he
this
did
one's a
for the
little
Chiefs.
easier because he doesn't have the hatred.
Yeah, there's
factor in
not
it,
as
too.
much. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. You got Joe DeJerry right there. You got Ronnie Lott and his 8, 9.5 fingers, whatever it is. Steve Young once again, and then Dwight Clark with the catch. Yes, not going to argue with that. I love it.
The golden lineup of Niners, like that's the history books. That's the Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You can't argue it.
Yep. So next up is Dave's. So Dave, there we go again. Rice, Montana, Young, got them all. Ronnie Lott, but then he comes in, Roger Craig. Now that
The
I
running
like.
back that I feel like gets forgotten about from
Yeah,
those days.
no kidding. Dave again with a solid, his honorable mention. We did this when we got to the Chiefs and we saw Andy Reid on the list. It was like, oh, well, that's a good poll. He did it again. This is a great poll. Roger Craig, duh. How has he not
Do I
been
think this
on
one
more
wins
lists?
the Niners? Not necessarily. I think the Niners nod might go to Wally on this one with Bill Walsh
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
because he was the one that wrangled all of these people together. But Roger Craig, I wouldn't have thought of Roger Craig because he was forgotten about. I honestly wouldn't have.
Yeah.
He gets overshined by his co-stars.
Yeah. Anyway, so but I like that. Great poll there, Dave. Good list. I like it. Let's get to Bo. Bo is the next on the list, and he still managed to screw it up. He only gave us 4 players. But
At least it's 4.
yeah,
At least it's 4.
We got there it is, Joe, Jerry, Steve. Who's that 4th guy on there?
Patrick Willis.
Yeah. That's a different one.
That's the most recent player on any of the Niners Rushmores.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to give him too much crap for it. I do want to give him crap for only submitting 4 people, even on the Niners. Where's the honorable mention, man? Come on. But Pat Willis, by the way, is what Bully says.
Knowing Bo, if he were to submit an honorable mention, and I could see him doing this just because of longevity, his honorable mention would be Frank Gore.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I could see that. Anyway, so that's
Bo,
that.
we love you. We just love giving you a hard time.
We gotta give somebody crap, and Bo actually has been in the lead of our Pick'em program for almost since we started.
All but 2 or 3 weeks of the season, period.
Yeah, which we will get to next week. And speaking of that, there's another advertisement for it. There's the 3 of us. Your 2 postseason co-hosts, myself, will be hosting the show, as we already stated earlier on. This Friday night is our Super Bowl show, probably 6:30-ish, 7 o'clock Central Time. So add an hour for the East Coast Bully. Subtract 1 for the boys in Montana, yourself. Subtract a couple if you're on the West Coast. You know what I mean? And if
you're in Hawaii, you do the math yourself.
There's 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many hours it is. We should figure it out. Bully knows. So he's great at that on his TikToks. He's is 9 o'clock Eastern, and for those of you in Alaska, it's he'll he's awesome at that. So Pat Willis, he says he's surprised he hasn't been up there.
I think he was talking the Frank Gore thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So anyway, gosh, we've been going here for an hour now. We've gone through our Mount Rushmores for everybody. I know I kind of just blew through Bo's there and got right to our advertisement for Friday night, but, yeah, is there anything else that you think we need to cover or talk about before we get the heck out of here tonight? I know it's kind of a non-standard show. What time in Hawaii, Bully? If we start at 7 o'clock Central, what time is that going to be in Hawaii? You tell me. So that's 8 Eastern. What time's that in Hawaii? Bully will do it. He knows it, dude. It's like that.
Oh, yeah, he'll get it.
He's great.
The only thing I can think of, I can't add anything to the show tonight. I'll just plug on to that advertisement or the advertisement, as we're saying it, for next week. If we are going to go back to our standard format, we are going to have the week that was. We're going to have on a roll.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have, which our winner has been selected. We
Bully
know who's winning on a roll.
Bully has come into the comments 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. All right.
See, he knows. I told you.
Right. Bully,
you're the absolute man. I'm going to call you after this, brother. So get ready.
So we're going to have that. We're going to have back our standard fare. The main thing with Super Bowl, we have our trivia segment. Usually it takes us a second to find something. If you, as a viewer, can think of any trivia segment, we are happy to hear from it. Please send any suggestions you have to trivia to either Duct Tape Dynasty Sports on Instagram, which is Josh's page. That's the main Duct Tape Dynasty page. And then there's also my page, DTD, Duct Tape Dynasty, DTD, Big Sky Country, no cases, no spaces. It's all the same thing. Because that's, Big Sky Country is Montana. That's where I'm at. That's my page. Send trivia ideas to either Josh or myself, and we will factor that in if we get something really, really cool, because we're still trying to figure out our trivia segment for Super Bowl weekend. We would love to have that. Give us all a follow on Instagram. Yeah. I know I said the two of us. TikTok for Josh as well. And we've been talking about Bully all night. If this is your first show and haven't seen Bully, I don't think that's our viewership. I think everyone knows Bully and loves Bully like we do. Give him a follow on Instagram and TikTok at Chef Bully 121. We're giving you a shout out, Bully, even though you're not here. Any views help. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the things. We love doing this. We love having you. We want to get bigger. We want to get better. But at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of guys being dudes. Yeah, we're just having fun.
This is just an excuse for us to get together and have fun. I mean, I'm not going to pretend we're professionals or whatever. I'd love to be. That'd be all right. But
yeah, it would be great.
We're just out having fun, brother. And I tell you what, I enjoyed the heck out of tonight's show. That was pretty cool. Once again, it's you, even though you made the plug for, hey, send us your trivia stuff. You are the guy that's like the segment suggestion box. You're that guy, because you're always sending me the trivia ideas that I go through. You're always sending me the, hey, let's do a Mount Rushmore. Let's do a Mount Rushmore. I think this was your idea tonight. And then, of course, in the off season, we do all sorts of things, which we're about to do. Yeah. We have fast food drafts. We have, we'll have baseball players on.
You can't accept that I beat you twice.
Dude, we're going to revisit it.
If it's best 2 out of 3, it's already over.
Yeah,
trying to make this a best of 7?
It might have to be. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, dude. So anyway, we got a good show coming up on Friday night that we definitely want you guys to spread the word for. And we definitely want you to be a part of. If we can get someone
from our inspiration show, a huge goal. If we could get someone from the McAfee show to hear our stuff for Super Bowl Sunday, we would love it.
Oh,
we would love
yes. It. Absolutely.
Spread the word.
Yeah, Foxy sees a lot of our stuff, so who knows? But anyway, that's it. That's our show for tonight. Like I said, non-standard. We'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming next week. All right, last call, brother. You got anything else? You hear the music. Anything.
I hear the music. Let's have a good weekend. Everybody, have fun out there. Make good choices. We'll see you on Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Again, thank you, everybody. We love y'all. Y'all are the absolute best. We will see you next week.
See ya.